Good morning, Bounty and Soul community. My name is Lyric. I'm a local farmer and educator here to unpack today's market box. This is an example of some of the produce that will be going out at Bounty and Soul's no-cost market today, Tuesday, May 19th. I'm here to offer recipe ideas, storage tips, and nutrition information so that you can best enjoy this food. So let's get started. The first thing I see in my box is a loaf of sourdough bread. This is from Annie's Bakery, which is a local bakery here in Asheville. Really excited about that. I have even more local. I have some local beautiful curly kale. This is from New Sprout Organic Farms. Kale is a great versatile leafy green. You can use it as you would any dark leafy green like chard or spinach. If you haven't checked out my kale chips video, which is posted on the Bounty and Soul Facebook page, that's a great recipe as kind of an introduction into how to eat kale. And you want to store kale in your fridge, in like the veggie drawer is a really good place, or in a Tupperware. I have more greens. I have a protein greens mix from Organic Girl. This is special. It says it has exclusive sweet pea leaves blended with baby spinach and baby kale. So this is like a greens blend. Really convenient, just a grab and go. You can throw it onto a sandwich or into a stir fry or something like that. They're already washed and ready to eat for you. Super convenient, and it also comes in a package already, so you can just store this as it is in your fridge. You don't want to leave it at room temperature, and then you can just grab handfuls as you need it. Super high in protein and calcium and lots of good leafy green nutrition. Organic tofu. This is a great plant-based source of protein and calcium. If you've never cooked with tofu before, you've never eaten tofu before, don't fret. I'll be posting some tofu recipes and a tofu like 101 video today as well, so that you can kind of start to appreciate and understand and feel comfortable with this ingredient in your food. This is another item in my box that comes in packaging already. So you do want to refrigerate tofu, and you can just store it in here, and then if you open this package and only use part of what's in here, you can just put the rest in a Tupperware in the fridge. I have a bag of green beans. I have a recipe posted on the Bounty and Soul Facebook page for a stewed green beans recipe. I've been getting a lot of green beans in my boxes, so I've been pretty much making that recipe nonstop. It's a really delicious way to enjoy your green beans. Green beans are really high in fiber and plant-based protein, and you do want to store these in the fridge. They'll kind of lose their crunch if they're stored at room temperature. So go ahead and store these in your fridge. Maybe in the veggie drawer would be a good spot. I have some citrus this week, a grapefruit and a lemon. I have a video for you to check out to make your own lemon juice or grapefruit juice, any citrus juice, using just basic tools that you probably have in your home. Or otherwise, you can totally eat this grapefruit on its own. I really love grapefruit for breakfast, paired with something else. And you can store these at room temperature as well, but if you cut them open and you have half of a lemon or half of a grapefruit, at that point you do want to go ahead and refrigerate it in a Tupperware so it doesn't dry out. Ooh, this is interesting. I have organic roasted chestnuts. So chestnuts are a tree nut. There's actually a native chestnut native to our region. We don't have a lot of those trees anymore, but these probably came from an Asian chestnut tree. They're already roasted, which is the first step in being able to eat chestnuts. So these are ready to eat right out of the package. You can totally snack on them just as they are. You could slice them up, put them into a salad or even a soup. Chestnuts are a really meaty, rich, kind of oily nut. I'm really excited for you guys to try these if you've never had them before. Of course, they have a lot of plant-based protein and some vitamin C in there. And this is a shelf-stable package, so you can just store this in your pantry. Once you open it, you can go ahead and keep the nuts in the fridge. Next in my box, I have a cantaloupe. Cantaloupe are a great melon. You can eat these raw. You don't want to eat the rind, but you can slice into it and scoop out the flesh inside. We also have a recipe on the Bounty and Soul website. It's for a honeydew melon slush, but you could absolutely use cantaloupe as well. That would be really yummy. You can store this either in your fridge or at room temperature. It'll ripen less quickly in the fridge. if it's not quite ripe yet. So you can kind of determine when you want to eat your cantaloupe, and that'll help you decide where to store it. Cantaloupe are super high in vitamin A and vitamin C. Sweet potatoes, these are a great size for just roasting whole, and you can keep the skins on when you roast them, of course, and it adds that little extra crunch on the outside. You can store sweet potatoes at room temperature. In like a darker place is great, but even on your counter they should last quite a while. And sweet potatoes are super high in beta carotene. I have organic grape tomatoes. These would be great just for snacking. You can also slice these size tomatoes in half and roast them on a baking sheet to create like roasted tomatoes, or even it can get to the texture of like a sun-dried tomato. If you have a dehydrator, that's a great option too. You want to store these tomatoes in the fridge, and they're already in packaging, which is really convenient, so that'll help them not to get smashed. I have some apples. I have so many apples from my Bounty and Soul boxes. I think I should just go ahead and make some applesauce. It's a great way to use up and enjoy an abundance of apples. Apples can also be eaten raw. They can also be added to cooked dishes for a little element of sweetness. They can be baked on their own as a dessert. Apples are another great source of vitamin C, and you can store these at room temperature. They should keep for quite some time. You can also store them in the fridge, but if you're short on fridge space like me all the time, you can store them at room temperature. Last but not least, I have a red onion. This onion looks like it has some wounds on the outside of the onion, but that doesn't mean that the whole onion is inedible. Rather, onions have so many layers, you can just chop it open and then peel off any layers on the outside that are soft or gooey or wounded, and I bet you'll get to some really good layers on the inside. So please don't feel like you have to throw away your whole onion just because it has some soft spots on the outside. I'll absolutely chop this open and see what's in store inside. Red onions, you can use them as you would other onions. They're especially good as a raw onion option because they tend to have like a slightly sweeter, less intense flavor. So you'll see red onions a lot on sandwiches or salads in thin slices. Red onions also have a lot of antioxidants, which is great. And you can store this at room temperature away from potatoes. So here's all of my produce that was in my market box today from Bounty and Soul. I hope this offered some inspiration and information for how you can best enjoy this food. Feel free to comment with your favorite recipes and ideas, and I look forward to cooking with you soon. Bye!